Sarge with us from the 1107 RTU. Could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your unit?
Well, the 1107 Marksmanship unit is what they call a reinforcement training unit, and the members of it are all either competitive shooters or they're people with exceptional skill levels or training in marksmanship. And our mission is to reinforce the training of regular reserve units in skills relating to marksmanship and skills with individual and some crew-served weapons.
Okay, I understand you're not part of the 396, but I understand you've been with the 396 the last few days helping them out. Could you tell us something about what you're doing with them?
Well, most of the time when the 1107 team goes out, we send several people to usually assist with unit qualification programs. Now, on this mission it's somewhat different. I'm the only one here, and I'm working with small units of non-commissioned officers to give them, an in-depth training in the use and employment of several different kinds of weapons that an engineer would have to use in a tactical situation. Primarily we're concentrating on the M60 machine gun, and we're having training also on the M203 grenade launcher and the M72 rocket launcher, or LOS, commonly called the LAW.
Well, this is kind of unusual type training then for the unit that you're with there. They don't normally come out and give such one-on-one instruction like you're giving here. Is that correct?
Well, we'll do whatever a unit pretty much wants us to within our capabilities. And one thing that makes this program real interesting is the ability or the opportunity to work with a small group of leaders that are non-commissioned officers and to really get into depth with the subject. Frankly, I learned some things about these weapons that I didn't know because I had to study real hard to stay ahead of the students. And also we're normally involved in just trying to get people qualified. We'll give them information that they need to know to get bullets into the target and get a qualification record. Now, this program mostly involves how the weapon is employed. It goes into its characteristics, how to sight it in a tactical situation, factors that would be involved in setting up and using these weapons as they would actually be used, in, say a tactical deployment where a unit might have to provide its own security. So it's a real interesting assignment. Hopefully the people that are taking the classes find it as interesting to take them as I do to teach them. But we've been operating kind of on an informal basis, more like a seminar than an actual class.
Yeah. I see you did some earlier classes, and then you went out, out to their bivouac site and actually emplaced a machine gun in different locations. Is that right?
Right. What we've been doing is spending the morning in a classroom discussing characteristics and maintenance and disassembly and assembly and how, kind of the theory of how the thing works. And then in the afternoon we've been going out to the bivouac site and we've been practicing actual skills involved in using the weapon. One of the main skills, or one skill that we've been working on that most people don't get a chance to practice or don't practice much, is range estimation. Because this is a very important skill in tactical employment of a weapon, and it's one that is not concentrated on too much because most of the time you do your qualification on a range or on a sit and firing range, and you know how far it is to the target. Out here, we're having to estimate how far, and then in some cases we've been actually counting paces out to where the proposed target is, and then seeing how correct or incorrect we were. We've also been looking at things like how you would analyze terrain to place your weapon so that you would get the maximum benefit from it, and how to select a firing position, how to work toward and And actually, one thing we found that selecting these positions is more, well, they all have to be a compromise. And there's not any really set answer as to the best possible position. There's several answers, and you really can't come up with a 100% solution.
I see. Well, this is the first time you've worked with this unit, isn't it?
Oh, that's right.
How do you find them?
Well, I'm really enjoying this assignment. For one thing, I used to live in Bardstown back 30 years ago or so, and this is really the first time I've had a chance to spend several days here since then. So I'm enjoying the assignment, not only on a professional basis, but on a personal one.
Yeah, you've had a long day, so I thank you for your time, and let you go on. I'm sure you're ready to get back to the house. Thank you.